Well, here I am in the Haudenosaunee deck builder. This is the Civ formerly known as the Iroquois, and always known as the weakest Civ, even in the previous version. And it's really the weakest Civ now because they nerfed it. They went and nerfed the weakest Civ in the game by making the National Unity card much less effective. It only reduces the support cost by 25% now. So if it's 1,000 gold to send the thing, then I think it's 750. Well, 25%, that's how much it would be. But I lost a game because this guy was coming in on my town and I had 2 cards ready to go and I had 500 gold and I thought, I'm going to get a nice swarm of troops going to fight him off, and I couldn't send it. And I'm like, what's going on? It's like, it's costing me all this money to send these support cards and I've already hit the National Unity card, and then I lost the game. And I was like, wow, they nerf the Iroquois. So I'm going to delete my allies deck. Goodbye allies deck. You were the only strong move this Civ had. So I'm going to make a new deck. I'm going to call it the weakest Civ deck. That's what I'm calling it. I'm going to see if I can put together something that I can win a game with against a good player. Is it possible? Let's find out. Yeah, before, when you had that National Unity card and you wanted to send support, it was only 250 gold. And that's pretty cheap, but that stuff took up a lot of room in your deck. You devoted a lot of room in your deck to that, you know. So I don't see any reason to have the National Unity card now, because it's only good if you put a lot of support cards in your deck also, and that's just hogging up too much space. So I got to find stuff in here that's worth having. But none of these cards that I have right now are really worth as much as the other Civs. The other Civs have such devastating stuff. Here's the worst card in the game. Haudenosaunee Woodworking. This is literally the worst card in the game. Even back when it was Iroquois Woodworking, it was the worst one. Get all your market wood upgrades for free, but you don't get this until age 3. That is horrible. I've never had that card in a deck at any point. National Unity, I'm going to miss you. Let's get to the game. Okay, so I'm playing against the Portuguese on the Punjab map. This map doesn't have a lot of wood on it, and they give you extra wood that normally only is given to the Indians. In the last version anyway, the Indians would get this thing where you could plant your own trees. But in this map, like every Civ playing on this map gets these free trees that you can place down. Because the map is so deprived of wood. And this Civ, even when they were the Iroquois, could go a little longer without wood choppers. You can put a few people on wood and you're good for a while because you have these builder travois that you start out with. So you can put like more people on food, less on wood in the start, and it actually helps them advance. They're also really good at early defense. Like, you have these cards that allow your houses to send little arrows, and you have the Great House, which makes your town center really good at defense. So if you get attacked really, really early with the Iroquois, it is actually good against really early rushes. Still the weakest Civ, but it's got that early defense ability that's kind of good. So I notice my opponent is sending a small force towards my town. It's not even going by any of my villagers, so it's not real dangerous, and it's a really small force, so this is really easy to deal with. I got some of my Chakram allies there. I don't have my war houses yet, but it's still not a problem. Also, when I bring in guys that are outlying and kind of bring him in, it makes it really hard for him to retreat, so this is really good. So already I'm thinking, I got this game won. I'm thinking I got this already. So in a little while I move forward and I find a couple of his unit production buildings, a couple of his barracks. I just move in on him. Yeah, there they are. There's the barracks. I find that and I just decide, okay, I'm just going to overwhelm this spot. He's in a lot of trouble already. His first little attack on my town didn't really have any effect. Those Chakram guys are good against infantry, by the way. They throw these little discs. I got those from like the native trading post or whatever. Those are really effective, so I'm going to keep making those. So while I'm tearing down his barracks, I send my explorer up to the north to get that other Chakram village so I can get more Chakrams, because they're really good. I notice then that he's built another town up there. And so I divert my troops that just destroyed the barracks up there to wreck that town, which is like a secondary town. I remember with the Portuguese, you get extra town centers as you age up. I don't hardly play the Portuguese anymore, but I remember that old trick from when I first started playing Age of Empires. When there's no treaty, there's no build restrictions, so you can send your town center across the whole map, and you can basically start a second town. It's a really cool trick if there's no treaty. So I send my army up there, and he resigns. I win the game. I never really had a chance to get my battering rams rolling. But it's alright. I'm not going to play this Civ very much more because it's so incredibly weak. But now I'm thinking about the Portuguese. I'm thinking about that old extra town trick you can do with the other town centers that you get from the age ups. So I'm going to go make a Portuguese deck. So here I am in my profile. Right now I'm 28 wins, 35 losses. But I'm going to gain on this. I'm going to actually have more wins than losses pretty soon. I'm playing so much better. Early on I was getting the feel for the game. People were rushing me early on, attacking my villagers in like age 2. But I advance quicker, so they don't rush me so much because they know I'm advancing faster, and they figure there's going to be more of a fight. That's something I've noticed. There's about 4,100 players altogether playing. I actually never attack my players early on. I never attack their villagers in like age 2. I never do that. I won't actually attack another player's villagers until I've actually beaten one of their armies. If I actually run into their villagers with a little force or something, I'll actually leave their villagers alone until I've actually beaten one of their groups. Then I'll attack them. So then it's on, but like as far as the first fight, it's never against enemy villagers. I never do that. Here's like the leaderboards. Here you have this top guy, Samwise 12. He's only got like 112 wins and 24 losses. So I think that's less than 200 games. I think I can climb the leaderboards and get in the top 10. I think I'm gonna try and do that for my next video. I can get up here because I'm playing so much better now. But that'll be my next one. See how close to the top I can get. Thanks for watching.